President of the Korea Foundation, Kim Gi-hwan, Global Trustee for the Asia Society, Mr. Ernie Thresher, distinguished panelists, ladies and gentlemen, I wish to thank both the Korea Foundation and the Asia Society for inviting me to speak virtually today. Let me begin by noting that Korea and the United States both recently observed their respective Memorial Days, June 6th for Korea and May 29th for the United States. I say this because Memorial Day offers an opportunity to reflect upon how our great alliance was forged on the battlefield 70 years ago. And it is by remembering those who paid the ultimate sacrifice during the Korean War that we can ensure lasting freedom and democracy on the Korean Peninsula. Today's forum comes a little over a month after President Yoon's state visit to the United States. The visit marked a historic watershed for the Korea-US alliance. Over the past 70 years, our alliance has stepped up, evolved, and withstood the test of time. President Yoon's state visit helped lay the foundations for our alliance to more effectively address the challenges of the 21st century and continue advancing over the next 70 years. Let me share with you some of the key deliverables of the visit. First and foremost, Korea and the U.S. have upgraded our security partnership to a new level. At a time when North Korea has been escalating its nuclear and missile threats at an unprecedented rate, it is absolutely imperative that our alliance adapt to this growing danger. Pyongyang's recent launch of a long-range ballistic missile with a so-called satellite is but the latest example of North Korean provocation. Against this backdrop, our two leaders adopted the Washington Declaration. This landmark declaration contains concrete measures to significantly bolster extended deterrence against North Korea. To ensure effective implementation, it establishes a new nuclear consultative group, the first bilateral mechanism of its kind in the world. Through the Washington Declaration, the ROK-US alliance is evolving to encompass nuclear deterrence as an important pillar. Second, Korea and the United States are deepening our cooperation on economic security. The centerpiece of such endeavors includes strengthening collaboration on mutually beneficial supply chain ecosystems for critical technologies. For instance, we agreed to establish a private-public semiconductor forum within the Korea-US supply chain and commercial dialogue. This will allow us to identify opportunities to collaborate on next-generation semiconductors, advanced packaging, and advanced materials, parts, and devices. Seoul and Washington have also established a next-generation critical and emerging technologies dialogue. This mechanism will be led by the national security advisors of our two countries, a fact which speaks to the importance we attach to developing and protecting critical technologies together. These include biomanufacturing, batteries, and quantum technology. Moreover, our collaboration extends to cyberspace and outer space. Through the launch of the ROK-US Cybersecurity Cooperation Framework, we are committed to expanding concerted efforts on securing cyberspace and combating cybercrime. Korea and the U.S. also issued a joint statement that highlights our readiness to work together in space. Examples include space communications, space navigation, and research on the moon. The cutting-edge nature of this evolving partnership literally represents a quantum leap from where the ROK-US relationship was 70 years ago. We are also strengthening the fabric of our friendship through more vibrant people-to-people and cultural exchanges. Our two governments announced a new $60 million initiative to deepen the bonds connecting future generations. 2023 Koreans and 2023 Americans will be benefiting from this program. During his state visit, President Yoon also attended a creative industry forum to promote ties between Korea and the U.S. content industries and streaming players. With the momentum generated by this forum, we can expect to see another Squid Game in the making. Last but not least, our two presidents affirmed that ours is a truly global alliance that champions democratic principles. Today, our partnership has grown into a global, comprehensive, strategic alliance. It serves not only our shared interests, but also our shared values. An alliance built on shared universal values such as freedom, human rights, and the rule of law is far more resilient and enduring than one based on common interest alone. As was highlighted at the recent G7 summit in Hiroshima, Korea stands shoulder to shoulder with the G7 countries. Aspiring to become a global pivotal state, Korea stands ready to harness its growing national strengths in the service of the rules-based order, both in the Indo-Pacific and beyond. Ladies and gentlemen, today it is hard to think of a domain that our alliance does not cover. Our relationship is no longer defined by any single issue, nor confined to a certain region. The narrative of our alliance needs to evolve in tandem. The policy communities of both our countries can play a valuable part in this regard. This community includes institutions such as the Asia Society, as well as experts, scholars, and journalists who are here today. Let me conclude by asking for your continued support. Your support for mapping out ways to make the ROK-US alliance thrive even further over the next 7 decades. On that note, I wish this forum every success. Thank you.